Gotta hit the warm-up, you know? So I get for a scratch in my eye. I figure out what I've been doing wrong with Russian dolls as of late. Ooh, that was bound to catch up to me eventually. A great start for warm-ups, but this is why we do them. falling apart to the frat, you know? It's always something. Thank you, Twitch, for telling me that there's somebody streaming that I follow while I'm streaming. Always appreciate it. Sometimes you just have confidence that the gap is gonna work. Yeah, 7 minutes of dying and signing the horror idols. That was me. Messing up every input. Like, every try is progressively worse than the last. Damn, is she ever high up? Only took 10 minutes, but at least we got it. Oh, this non is such a problem. What? Come on, that should have been easy. That was just so much wrong there that I did wrong. So Reimu LNNFS, who's the one who did it? So I saw someone, I forget their name unfortunately during the TSO. I cannot do this non to save my life right now. Holy moly! I saw someone during the TSO play a bunch of solo labors, so I had some don't know names at all. Yeah, that's fair. Pulling off the solo rainbow TSO, and so that was cool to see that run. And how much it struggles at certain points. This non is so bad. And I'm really bad at it. Panic. 1 MB, nice. It's always cool to see. Yeah, I didn't see any of the replay showcase today. I usually hop in it most Sundays, but by the time I was awake, it was a little late, and then I didn't get about to looking at it. Yeah, the pod. I mean, I love pod, so I had to make sure I keep an eye on that pod run that happened last week. I hate this non so very much. Now that was a very textbook nice dodge. I just succumb to panicking too much. I think that's my biggest problem. I just panic too much. Yeah, well. Are nons generally easier across Touhou? I guess that's probably true. But I'd say that nons are on average easier, but I mean, some of the hardest attacks in games are nons, so I wouldn't put it that far. Like, I'll stand by. I'll keep standing by and say that this is the third. That Lunasa's second non is the third hardest attack in the game. And if you look at it, you know, spam isn't even a spell card either. If you look at Alice, you know, I struggle with Horror Idol's bunch, but what's probably your hardest other attack for first non? At least Yomu's got pretty easy nons. I mean, you look at some games like LOL K. You know, either the hardest or second hardest attack in the game is a non. It's a stage 3 non at that. Coding Knight, what you working on now? Is it still Lost Branch stuff or something else? Yeah, no, Yomu, I mean, to be fair to the Yomu, to, like, the fact that you do cheese most of Yomu's nons to an extent, besides her, of course, her last one on stage 6. If you had to do them normally, they would be annoying. I don't think they would be near the top 5 for attacks in the game. Maybe not even top 10. Right. Like, if you couldn't misdirect cheese, you know, like her first non here and her mid non here. Block Branch, nice, nice. With an attack like this one, I wonder how it got designed. Because that attack, like the misdirect cheese on the others, you know, maybe an oversight or something. But to be fair about the misdirect cheese, there is no misdirect cheese on the Yomu stage 6 mid-non. So it makes me wonder why, like, you know, what happened during the construction of the attack that Zune made it so that, you know, of course, because you always have the weird rares that are just absolutely wild effects. Oh! I mean, it's a question I always wonder with attacks in games. How many safe spots or like cheese spots does Zune know of when he releases the game? That was god awful. Wait. Right? Like, I feel like this misdirect is probably not intentional, or probably was complete oversight on his part. But I do hesitate with that by the fact that the misdirect literally doesn't work on stage 6 mid-non. Right? Because you can misdirect both the stage 5 mid-non and the stage 6, or stage 5 first non. But not the stage 6 mid-non. So it makes me wonder how Zune, like, designed that. Do you think, like, is it just kind of a coincidence that the mid-non for 6 isn't exploitable like that? Disgusting HGS wave. You don't have to include the disgusting. You could just say that was a HGS wave. They're all disgusting. Or most of them are. I will say this, you know, because she is. I saw, speaking of Inoko, I actually saw some really cute Inoko art the other day. By the other day, I mean it was yesterday, but I was too busy, so I didn't, like, save it and post it in the Discord, and then I couldn't find it again. I'll say this. If I'm going to rank the difficulty of attacks in this game, its spam is obviously 1, HGS is 2, Lunasa non 2 is going to be 3rd. I will say this, I have an easier time on HGS. I'm pretty confident in saying that HGS is easier than Lunasa non 2. Or no, HGS is a harder attack. But I definitely will say I struggle more with Inazuma 2 than HGS. This attack is sneaky. It's really sneaky. Because some of these waves are just kind of pretty fine. Like, look at that. Like, that was really not that contentious of a wave. Pretty smooth reads. Just sometimes there's a gross thing. The problem is it's long enough that you'll probably see one or two not necessarily kind waves. Yeah, it's a difficult roulette. Now, the fortunate thing is, it's nowhere near as difficulty roulette-y as, like, HGS's. Like, it can peak really high, but it's usually not that bad. And more importantly, although Recons and Octaves can definitely hit some disgusting high rolls, its peak high rolls aren't even that terrible. Like, they're bad, but they're not, like... It doesn't have the peak potential that, like, HGS has. For this. Although I don't know how much in Touhou has with a just... What in Touhou can be compared to this? Ethical Eternal Meek? Even that, I would put an asterisk on, as this. I just put to say that this is a more exaggerated Eternal Meek. This is probably the closest thing to compare this to literally anything else in Touhou. But yeah, as I was commenting earlier, it's this guy. I wonder how many times, like, when there's safe spots, like Zune, like, let's take Kogasa for an example, that Zune puts a lot of thought into it. Because you can clearly tell with some bosses like Yukadia, he clearly thought, like, to put a pseudo safe spot counter. Yeah, Touhou's a test of patience, right? Like, you know, when I spent, you know, like 2 weeks ago, an hour and a half almost dying at Chen over and over, you know, it's one of those just tests of patience. Like, ideally, you can get to the point where you feel like you ace, you know, Chen, like something like Chen easily, but no matter what, reality's gonna slap you at some point, and then you're just gonna be stuck somewhere. And unfortunately, it comes down to a test of how strong your patience is. Oh, I messed up my button. Nice, gotta love rank nipping. Or rank routing. I guess the two are kind of, I guess rank routing / rank nipping are kind of essentially the same thing. So much of spam just comes down to, you know, doing what you feel like is best and playing aggressive enough to try to make reads and just hoping that it works. And to be fair, there's an extent of that to a lot of attacks, but like spam has a lot more hope involved than most attacks. Because, like, in this attack, you know, it's like, I find my lineup, and I hope it works. But I have the confidence in saying that, like, I should always be able to hit that lineup. And if I don't, then, you know, then that's poor on me. But, like, spam is the one, like, exaggeration where it's like, I need to not do this fight right now. I hate practicing Yuyiko. It just gets so boring so quickly. Brings us thing shoot down, yeah. At least with Ray, I mean, because at least with like Rainbow A, you know, I'm shooting down more fairies and spam than I am otherwise. Although it's not like there's any control for me. I wiggle left and right at the beginning to pretend I clear a bunch of dudes, but it literally doesn't matter. I've kind of looked around. It doesn't really do shit. Powers Rings is that? It's Rings is Touhou 4 Lotus Land. It's end of stage 4? Stage 5. Okay. It's stage 4 and 5. I forgot which one. I'm gonna do some runs. I'm gonna pee real quick. Give me like 30 seconds. I'm back. Unfortunately, I can't get a good image right now, so I'm not going to put one in the Discord, but there's snow on the ground. I mean, it's a very, very, very small dusting of it, but there is snow on the ground. Let her rip. Eternity. Are you talking about the Yomu stage 6 mid spell? Is that the one you're talking about? Because if so, yes, that one doesn't work on lower difficulties. I do know that as well. Or at least I know. As long as the many people I've heard say that aren't lying, but I've never tested it myself, then it does not work at lower difficulties. Although I believe it's still consistent, so it's just like, you know, finding a pattern. Similar to, like, the Marasa nods. Yeah, so that is what I'm referring to. I was not border maxing here. But it always makes you wonder, like, that safe spot's a little different, because the safe spot only exists because the attack is static and they just find a spot. Fortunately, it's a very convenient lineup where it's the hole through. However, it is a moving safe spot, right? Because it's... I know why. I know why it's called that. I just wanted to make sure that's what you're referring to. But it is a moving safe spot because it's not the same every wave. It's kind of in the same way that... It's kind of... Yeah, that one. The N, N, E, and then halfway, and then kind of between the M and the Y, slightly closer to the M. Which other characters don't have to do the fourth gap on, but Rainbow A does. But it always makes you wonder, like, what... Because, like, that was a moving safe spot, like I said. Similar to how... I guess that one's better at shifting safe spot. Where... Like... Alice's second mid-non was kind of a moving safe spot. Right? Everything is filled with there's so many weird like pseudo cheese strats that are kind of cheesy, but they're not. It's not like a bitch. That are like kind of cheesy, but they're not like guarantees or whatever. They're weird. I don't know. A lot of weird ways to describe stuff. The point that I was getting at was like a lot of the safer strats and stuff, safe spots and such. Like, how much of that is Zune, like, I wonder, like, calculated? Prepared for? Because he clearly, like, has put work in some bosses to, like, not allowing safe spots. Because, like, an example is with... Let's do Sakuya's mid-non from Stage 5. Like, that safe spot, is that intentional? I don't know. I don't think so. Because it's like, oh, she just doesn't shoot up. But, like, Zune has got to be aware that some of these safe spots exist after the fact. And, it like, there are many attacks throughout the Touhou games where it's like, bosses don't, like, shoot up or don't shoot this one area that allows a safe spot to exist. But, like, in the same game, he also does it at times. Oh, shit, we got the best viewers out here? Damn, the bots have been up in the past few days. Like, it's been fine for a while, and boom. Get banned. Get that ass banned. Yeah, that point about Zune's alcohol consumption may affect it. Like, there are attacks where it's like, oh, you know, the boss just doesn't shoot up. Go hug above them. Pretty simple. But, like, there's also times where, like, you know, the boss does shoot above them, so it's weird. So that's why I wonder about some safe strats. Are some of them intentional? You know, probably not all of them, for sure. But, like, I feel like there's gotta be some, like, safe spots, safe strats throughout the years that are intentional. You know, because here's an example of, like, a safe strat. Let's take Stage 4 in this game, right? Like, the entire first half of Stage 4 in this game, or the second half of the first half of the stage portion. You know, it's just, it just shift their attack, you know, the guys just shoot those green bullets, and that's it. You know, I feel like that type of strat has to be almost intentional from Zune. So, like, is it a cheese strat? Because, like, if that strat is not intentional, why have the dude shoot the green bullets anyway? Yeah, that's fair. I mean, we know that accidents can happen in Touhou coding, right? Me being invincible in Touhou 1, and Dorami's first non in Touhou 15, right? If we know some things get through. So that's one thing I always wondered about people, because, like, ethical strats is a big thing, and there's some attacks where I do ethical, like, strats for it. Or where I won't skip. Like, I won't skip catch block, right? I've already said I don't want to skip catch block. But, like, to those who, like, argue potentially for ethical strats on, like, safe spots and stuff, I always wonder, because I'm like, how many of these are, like, even, like, potentially intentional? So let's say Kogasa's. Kogasa has 2 safe spots. I really don't think those are intentional. But at the same time, isn't it weird that that type of safe spot only works on those 2 attacks and nothing else, like, in the game? Yes, I know Orin has, like, a safe spot or 2, but, like, it's a very different safe spot. And also, one of my biggest reasons why I will always do safe spots is the justification of what's the difference between a safe spot and a safe, like, route. Is this a safe spot right here? That gap right there, is that a safe spot? It's a single tap. But it seems like it's probably the designed way to do that attack. You know, right, that end section right there at stage 2. That's always a really weird one. Like, is that a safe spot? I think it technically would be called a safe spot. No. We all know that Zune has never had any mistakes with coding. He's the greatest coder known to man. There would never be problems with coding. Dorami Non 1 is a figment of people's imaginations. It is actually purely intentional. If anyone tells you otherwise, they're definitely lying. There are no issues to be found in coding in games ever. Coders always know exactly what they're doing and get the perfect result every time. context better. You talk about the Dormy non that I always refer to. Basically, Dormy's non 1 from Touhou 15, aka probably one of the 2 hardest attacks in the entire game, right next to PDH. I forget the exact, like, stat, but for whatever reason, like, the rotation on, like, one of the rings in that attack is, like, I think it has, like, an extra 0 in it for like, accidental. And it causes that attack to just be very difficult. Not that it probably wouldn't be terrible otherwise, but I am not the most knowledgeable on the coding reason. I've only heard many people talk about this before, but it does have, like, I believe, like, a misplaced decimal point or something. Yeah. Family Team is a little more, I knew the part about the 10x. I knew it was one of the ways. I don't know the exact details, but it's weird because it makes that attack awful. And the worst part about it is, like, Dormy, most bosses in Touhou 15, but those Dormy nons have so much HP. So that, like, you have to live that attack so many. That was one of the worst attacks in the 1cc. Because you can't just, like, oh, this attack sucks, it's broken, just, bomb it. Like, 2 bombs from start to finish doesn't even fully clear that attack. So it just sucks. Very smooth, the on one. Let's go for damage, because this attack is a little bit of damage crunch. It's not the end of the world if you don't get it, but I still, like, still forced to try to kill her before you have to dodge that green wave, because I don't have that one routed very well. Yeah, Dormy is not one. Like I said, it's one of the hardest attacks in the series. It is... You know, it's right next to PDH for being the hardest attack in the game, right? Like, it's so weird. In fact, it would probably make her the hardest Stage 3 boss if it wasn't for the fact that Kagero exists. This is garbage. Stuff the routing there a little, but fortunately Rainbow Homing can get out of more jams on stage portions easier. True, you know. Well, that's one thing that's so hard to rank about DDC, right? You know, is DDC one of the hardest games in the series or not? Because it has, like, two of the hardest, two of the easiest shot types in the entire series, maybe even the 2 easiest, you know. It's a little debatable, but whether or not it is doesn't really matter. And then you have, you know, some of by far the hardest. But one thing we can safely say is that regardless... that was the dumbest way to die. Today is not my day. I will guarantee you guys that right now. Is that regardless of everything else, you know, Kagero is still probably the hardest part of that game. And also, when you're the hardest part of the hardest, of possibly the hardest, like, run in the series, she's probably the hardest stage 3 boss, on average. Not saying that other stage 3s are easy or anything, but... Okay, who am I kidding? Of course that's what that says. If something's not as hard as something else, that means it's easy. It's actually the easiest thing you've ever seen, right? Well, DDC is just such a weird game, because it is probably fundamentally the most imbalanced Touhou game. At the very least in terms of shot types. I'm kind of going to give SOEW a little bit of an asterisk, like, not include it, just because, like, I feel like if you want to say Touhou 2 being the, you know, fitting that category, it might be true, but, like, that game probably shouldn't be in the conversation for it. Yeah, that is always a way to refer to SOEW. That game's actually stage tilted me off the face of the earth. Isn't Marissa B on like an LNB run, like the only normal shot type in I feel like you said that one before. Isn't it like the only like normal shot type in DDC? It's the only one that isn't god awful or like broken. Yeah, Raymond B is not regarded as quite as bad as Sakia B or Marissa A, but, like, that was the terrible pattern. I'm just not playing. But that was also just a terrible setup that was in front of me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Reimu B DDC is just kind of like basic ass Reimu. I'm pretty sure her focused is persuasion needles. I think her unfocused might be homing in that game, not gonna lie. But I can't actually, I don't know that for fact. So, don't quote me on that. Or do quote me and just make fun of me afterwards when I'm wrong, but... You know, I've had some really good Touhou days this past week. Not every day can be a, fuck up Rainbow Needle damage. Yeah, nobody in the world plays as Rainbow B. I don't, like, because if you play as a dog shit shot type, you're gonna play as Sakia B or Marissa A more than you play as Rainbow B, and if you're gonna play as a good one, you're just gonna play the others. At the very least, her Persuasion Needles are just 10 times worse than the Gohei, right? Because the Gohei just deals like 5 billion damage for no reason. Reimu A is, do you want to deal 5 billion damage? By sitting there and mashing shift, so yeah, it's kind of mouse cannon. But what Reimu A also can do is it does have a duplicating glitch to some extent, where it, like, sort of duplicates the Gohei for, like, double damage. It's kind of hard to set up, but, like, it's really stupid. That's even, like, a thing. Yeah, as someone who played Reimu A when playing that game, it is wild how much damage you can do. Especially watching it, like, and then watching other shot types in that game.
Why would I even think to go through that gap? It is just... It's just blah right now.
And then, of course, Sakia A is just, you know... But if you have everything possibly, it's just, like, going your favor. You want amazing damage? Here you go. I think the knives are homing, too. Or lock-on, at least. So it's like... Here's that. I didn't get... I'm so mad right now. I'm not even paying attention to border maxing. Oh, what? You want to apparently slow down the enemies? Not that I really felt it myself, but here you go. Here's just every pattern, like, slightly easier. Yeah, well, how many exploity shots, like, truly exist throughout Touhou, right? Reimu A and Sakia A from GDC, I would argue, are very exploity shots. You have the, Marissa, was it Marissa B or some shit, in Moth, with its, like, free power bug. I'm not going to count the Versus games because those are fundamentally a little more janky regardless. I don't know if I'd say shots of tech. Although maybe I would. Although it kind of depends on what you define as tech. Because, like, I don't think I would count Malice Cannon as, broken by any means, right? Like, so I definitely wouldn't include that. Considering that the spamming shift does exist in, you know, like we said in EDC, I honestly wouldn't be surprised. I doubt it, but you just never know. It's probably just a coincidence. Like most things tend to be. No, Zoom doesn't need a reason to make characters suck, right? Like, you could talk about, like, what, Sakuya in POSV? Like, sometimes characters will just suck, right? You know, the Malice Cannon is probably just a coincidence in a character that would suck, or a shot type that would suck otherwise, but has at least something going for it to bail it out. But again, like I said, to be honest, I just never know. Like, I wouldn't put it past him to design an effect like that. Stay in the middle. It's usually like slightly suboptimal here. Oh yeah, I might as well commentate it while I'm here, but I'll make a post about this in Discord later this week. But I will be gone this weekend, going out of town. Friday, Saturday, I will not be streaming. For sure. I may or may not miss Sunday as well. I don't know. Depends on what time I get home Sunday. And Thursday is Thanksgiving. I'm going to try to stream. I just don't know when I'll be able to stream on Thursday. It may be early, it may be normal time, it may be late, I don't know. I will make a comment. I will make a post in Discord about this later, but it's off the top of my head. So I thought I'll mention it right now. Come back. The green bullets are so fast, but then you realize that, like, when you start, like, playing your movement around her movement, you realize how, like, slow they do actually come down. It's like, she'll move, and then you have a second before they actually get to you. So you're kind of playing to her shadow a second behind her. I'll always be fine with this stage starting to be the harder part of the game, because I love this stage speed. This stage speed is so good. You know, how's it playing Lotus Land compared to USD? Because the way the difficulty works in those two games is very different from each other, right? Because, like, USD is, like, fairly tame, and then you get books and it's just whoa, you know, for the rest of the game, generally. But Lotus Land is, you know, vastly different. Well, there's some questions I always wonder about Zun's design philosophy. Why does he give Reimu nowadays both Persuasion Needle and Homing? And Persuasion Needle just generally being the most, like, the best shot type. And with the it's like with LK, it's like, why, like, you have Persuasion Needle, you have Homing, you know, as different shot types for a reason throughout all of Touhou. And then he just starts combining them as of late. It's like, why? Especially with, like, the way the numbers work, it just generally makes, like, Reimu the best. At least compared to Marissa. You're telling me I can get the advantages of homing for stage portions while also getting the damage of Persuasion Needles for bosses? And Persuasion Needle just deals so much damage? Sign me up. Or don't sign me up, because I don't generally like it. Just give me my pure homing, please. Like, I want when I'm focused like this, when I always shoot my homing. Or I want when I'm shooting like this, I have what I have in Subterranean Animism, which is the most half-assed homing, and it makes you want to cry. Ooh, that was a gross one. Oh, there's too many gross waves in a row, and I just lost where I was. Because the way I've always looked at it is, like, you play Marissa if you want your consistent narrow damage, you play Persuasion Needle if you want the shotgun, and you play Homing if you want the homing. And then they just were like, what if we just did I would just combine things. We just, like, got rid of alternate shot types for no reason. Marisa's still great in Wily Beast. Everyone's great in Wily Beast, though, right? I'm not gonna get my quarter maxing. I'm out of it right now, I tell you. He's not good in UM. Yeah, but that's also who is good in UM.
Like, isn't Sakia like the good one in UM?
Or the only one that's like, or like the one that's like better than the others at least. Okay, hate Marisa. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, okay, doubt. 100% hate Marisa. Well, okay, I wouldn't say 100%. Like, Marisa does deal more damage than Raymond with Persuasion Needles. But, Stage 5 is a non-homing nightmare. And so if you don't have homing, you just struggle. And Marisa does not have homing. Same with Racing. It is not the day. It is certainly not. And you know what? That is perfectly fine. You will get my gameplay, and we'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, let's go border maxing. Yeah, well, Marisa also doesn't get Lunasa 1 and 2 in this game. Marisa gets Lyrica's openers, right? And those are generally regarded as not as bad as Lunasa's or Merlin, right? PCB even have a bad shot type? What is the worst shot type in PCB? Is it Reimu A? I don't think it would be Reimu A, but to be honest, there's really no bad PCB shot types. It's just like, you know, what Sakuya B is like really good, comparably, right? Like, I potentially throw Reimu A as the worst in this game, but the existence of spam makes that where it might not be true. because of how spam heavy this game is. Well, to be fair, fourth best is third worst, so. Yeah. As I said, like, there's no bad shots. There's the ones that are better or worse, but... PCB is not a game where a bad shot type is going to make you struggle. You know, with spam, sure, but... But, like, it's not gonna... I don't have max P. What am I doing? I'm still so hesitant over the power cancel thing. I know there are some, like, top players that are true believers of power cancel. And I understand it in theory, but saving 3 seconds off of spam for the rest of the game, for so much of the rest of the game to be just that bit worse. Now, to be fair, as a Reimu 8 player, I'm definitely a lot more biased with that being worse, because some characters probably deal more damage at 1 below max power than Reimu 8 does at max power. At least when not in full shotgun. Because at least Reimu 8 does have a bit of a shotgun to hurt. Still so cautious about the idea of, power cancel in this game. Like, if you're that... I mean, I understand if you're that consistent at everything that isn't named spam. But I still raise a question mark to it. Of, like, I don't know who is in that category. Yeah, Reimu 8 does, I'll say, at max power, her damage is manageable. But, dude, you get Reimu 8 below max power, she fucking sucks. Like, it's to the point where most things, like, even more than one way forward. Kind of the one exception is, like, the Yomu mid-spell from, stage 6. You know what Reimu 8 does have going for her, though? It's RB. And that may sound weird because it's a timeout, but that's exactly why. Who cares if you have low damage when the final spell of the game is a timeout? Doesn't matter. Your damage... Oh, you have poor damage? Doesn't matter, you just kill it. The same rate everyone else does. Actually, the big brain strat. Reimu 8 is the best shotgun in the entire game. I've changed my mind. I'm playing the most meta shot. I have solved PCB, everybody. Sake is way harder to use. How much of that is the shot type being harder to use in UM? And how much of that is UM being obnoxious? I'm sure a lot of it's probably Sake is more painful to use, but... Game's like a tank, kind of. What is this, SOEW? We don't have tanks back. We don't have tanks in modern Touhou. Yeah, the anime girls flying around shooting each other. Oh, that bullet accelerated so fast. I was stubborn. I saw the bolts coming, I was like, I'm either gonna make it or I don't. Tonight could be a dream. Border maxing, border maxing. Oh, baby. Sometimes it just do be like that, you know? This is where I would set up my standing desk for like 20 minutes. Just to get like myself going, but I just don't feel like it. The hassle to set up. Listen, I'll take my loss. Think around first. bit more than I thought it would. If I go true full bordering here, I don't think I'll still have enough. Sometimes you gotta have the mentality of, what is it? You know, tomorrow will be great, yesterday was not. That's the name of the song. Ooh, that was a nice wiggle, at least. Nice. Was a double border stage 1, by the way? I love that. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Red goes left, blue goes right. That's not the way you're supposed to dodge that wave. Again, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. best in terms of damage output, but... have to be that low else. He's like, no, I insist. Ah, he's like, oh shit. Was the first Borador I've ever seen. I'll play it out till I die multiple times to Lunosa. Oops. Technically a misroute there. Not that it matters much there, but... Did he wipe? Guys, I didn't pick up that bomb. Big runs a bell. Maneuver in that way. Skank Patrol is on patrol. Lunasis being skanked as usual. Oh, I could have got around that. My favorite spell in the game. I lied. How did I cap that? hell? That was absurd. I do not deserve that one. I ended up panicking, find myself centered. I was like, uh-oh. How am I just so much better at HGS than I am at Lunasa's second non? About a stroke, I'm too busy using this my caps lock button right now. How am I this much better at Yo move than I am at the Prism Rivers? Holy shit. Two. Two miss. Hello, Knife Non. I'll run into the knife on the return. I seem to do that a lot. I think this might be the quietest Touhou run I've ever streamed. Ah, damn it. What? Reset? thought the attack only resets when I die. That's weird. But I swear that attack resets when you die. Not that I needed it, but... Cap. I would lower on that middle gap back to the left than I thought I was. And I thought I was gonna die because I was lower than I thought I was. So. Whoa. You told me earlier I was going to have tied for my second best run ever. I wouldn't believe you, but... That was such a lucky run, dude. That Chen, that Alice, and that Prism River final, that Sumitomo, wow. I'll take 3 miss. I'll take 3 miss every day of the week. Hey, 3 miss with spam capped, too. That was a fucking nutty spam. That was the one thing I will say I did well. That and the HGS, I did really well. Just trying to get... Like, I could do Alice, I can do the Prism Rivers, but boy can I do Yomu, but like... Alice plus the Prism Rivers is such an annoying thing to do back to back. Very good run, though, all things considered. That's a good spot to stop with the day. Or some dreaming artificially.